Hello, everybody. We are back. I hope you enjoyed our yoga intermission and that it got you loose and ready to go and enjoy another full day of DrupalCon. I am very privileged to be introducing Dominique here, who is going to be talking about content management systems and the move in our thinking and in how we conceive of our projects from CMS to DXP, Digital Experience Platform, in order to stay relevant. So I'm thrilled to hand it off to Dominique. Thank you very much for being here, and take it away.
All right. Thank you, Tim. So yeah, we're going to talk about the move from CMS to DXP and how to stay relevant. We'll be looking at the implications for Drupal agencies, for customers who are using Drupals, and also marketers and developers. Just quickly, I'm Dominique. I'm CEO and founder of DropSolid. Been in Drupal development since 2007, and building a lot of experiences for customers through the years. And yeah, I'm going to share what we've learned, especially recent years when things got moving from CMS to DXP. So, in summary, this session. The Drupal as a CMS will not be enough anymore to engage customers. If we want our customers to still want to use Drupal, we have to realize that our customers that are using Drupal want to know their customers, and that's where the whole shift around CMS to DXP comes from. Because if you move from CMS to DXP, you'll be able to deliver a return on experience, ROX, so which will be the return on investment of investing in digital experiences. But first, to understand how we got there, let's look at the digital roadmap an organization or a business goes through when they want to move along that path. So in the beginning, a lot of organizations start out with a simple website, and they're doing some social, doing some paid advertising, sending some emails, but quickly as their digital channels grow, we see they go mobile. They're investing a lot in SEO, generating organic traffic, segmenting email. And then we move into the stages where we do rule-based personalization. We've been doing that for years in Drupal, based on who you are, what we know about you when you're logged in. But then it goes to the stages now where we want to predict, where we want to learn what are your intentions when you come to our digital platforms, when you engage with our digital touch points. And in the end, the goal of a lot of businesses is to be really in sync with every customer individually, the one-on-one customer experience, delivering a personalized experience across channels. We can also see that in the beginning, we are really happy if we get traffic to our website. Then we are happy when we are converting. But in the end, we want to keep our customers, and we want to focus on what we call lifetime value, customer lifetime value, and that's the value of a customer, what a customer or a member has to an organization. And this is a different way of looking at things. And to do this, what we do is we put the customer centrally. We try to engage with them through different channels, in different contexts, while having different experiences. And we try to know things before they even know it themselves, ideally. So to go then to a DXP, what has a DXP to do with this? If we want to increase the experience for the customer, we are looking at digital experience platforms. And I had a lot of discussions about this. Is it just branding for selling websites? Is it just a new name for CMS? And actually it isn't. I believe it's a bigger change as it was moving from HTML, CSS websites 20 years ago when Drupal got founded, as it is from moving from CMS to DXP. So the move from CMS to DXP is not just new marketing for CMSs. What was the difference? To understand the difference, let's look at what is really the main thing. And the main thing is there's the focus is on the experience. And then key concepts like personalization, omni-channel analytics, user experience, really knowing the customer is key. But also at the business side, we want to be scalable. If we can build a digital experience, it doesn't matter if we have 1 user or 1 million users, our costs will not go up linearly. So with the rise of cloud and AI and lots of other integrations with other tools, that's becoming possible. To understand this even more in detail, if we look at the critical capabilities that Gartner, software analyst company, puts forward, we can see that they see the experience management platform, where we already have a lot of things in Drupal for years, like the management part, for example. We have it for more than a decade. The account services, the users, collaboration, knowledge management, content management, security administration, and access control. It's all there. On the other side, even on the experience level, a lot of work has been done orchestrating the experience. The initiatives like Layout Builder and also the headless initiative, bringing content to different channels, has been very productive there. And of course, search with Apache Solr and navigation and discovery has been in Drupal for a long time. Also on the platform side, Drupal always has had a strong architecture and application development capabilities. Also cloud with companies like Acquia and Pantheon and Dropsolid, bringing Drupal to the cloud. We also have a lot of things already done there. Also the extensibility, integrating Drupal plus 30,000 contrib modules, that's already there. Also the multi-channel support. But what's really new for the DXP, while Drupal has already been a very extensive content management system, basically already having capabilities DXP has, even before DXP was something. Things that Drupal does not have out of the box is personalization and context awareness. It does not have the analytics and optimization tools, and it also doesn't do a lot with AI. It doesn't do a lot with user data in general, and this is the main differentiator. Moving from CMS to DXP is mainly a data story. Is going to use data to enhance the experience. I have a couple of slides here, 3, to explain the DXP concept more to different types of people. Like, for example, this is a slide that I use a lot when I try to explain this to business people. Typically managers, marketing managers, even CIOs or CEOs of companies. And I try to explain it like this, like the digital experience platform is like your communication brain, which communicates the inside of your organization, that knows things about the customer, about the products, about the market, and it tries to communicate that to a user that is consuming a service of a product through these channels. And the DXP tries to do this in a very personalized way. And obviously doing this will benefit your organization or your business, because this customer will be happy. if we look at if I have a more IT-minded person, I would say like if you have the business logic layer where you have your enterprise platforms, the ERP, the CRM, product inventory management system or digital assets, and the authentication layer, the experience layer sits on top of that, managing all these channels, managing that content, managing that experience. And I'm talking to a really marketing-minded person. I would say like, okay, you have your funnel, you have your tools generating your traffic, generating awareness, your sales team doing outbound things. Then you have your marketing technology, like for example, you might have a marketing automation system that's sending mails, driving the traffic through the funnel, using video tools and maybe a chatbot, I don't know, or and on the other side you have your optimization tools where you're measuring all these things. Well, your customer needs a place where he can touch all this. This will be all your digital channels, and this needs to be powered by something. This needs to be this needs to capture all that data that the user is generating and use that in a useful way. So that's where a digital experience platform comes in. So then you might think, okay, that's all good. We know what a DXP is now. We know what the difference is with a CMS, but why would I sell it to my customer like this? Why not just offer them a CMS like we used to? And the key there is that if you can see it from a business perspective, it makes a lot of sense. And I found data that backs this up. In general, if companies are investing in customer experience projects, typically they're seeing a lot of return. Like 93% in this particular study saw a measurable return on investment. Half of it would be financially, and they would typically be looking at increased satisfaction, increased revenues, lifetime values, but even things as reducing costs of acquisition and increasing the brand value. So obviously that's increasing these metrics as a business is obviously very valuable and will have in the long term a very good effect on the value of your business. Even it was an example in the SaaS business where promoters churn 40% less, and they brought on also 40% more marketing qualified leads when investing in this customer experience. And then like a more macroeconomic example that I found was that if from 2000 until now, a lot of companies have been investing in these customer experience, and we all know the big ones like Amazon and Google and others. If you would have put them in a stock portfolio and invested $100 in that, you would have had 5 times more return on your investment than you would have done in a standard market portfolio. So that's a clear evidence that of course customer experience is very beneficial. Now how can we make this more tangible? Like how can we see this in metrics? And this in the research I've did is that proprietary systems, which are competitors of Drupal, already do this, and I found a couple of studies where clearly these systems have been able to build cases where they increased page views with 5 times, decreased bounce rates, email open rates, better services using the personalization engine, which is the core of the DXP. I also found this in e-commerce. In e-commerce, finding the intentions of a customer and finding these customer segments who really buy, increase the order value, increase the revenue, decrease the the cart, abandoned cart amount. So also there, these systems already have these cases. It would be very nice to have similar cases on Drupal.org, showcasing that this is also possible with Drupal. And it's always the same thing. It's lifetime value, customer acquisition cost, this scalability, what we call the return on experience. So then, how do we bring Drupal as a DXP? Well, we already saw that Drupal has a lot of capabilities that allow it to be a DXP, because it's been always such an extensible system and a great framework to work with. It's naturally that it can become a DXP. So in this slide, we have all the components that are needed to build a DXP with Drupal. So on top, we have our customer reaching through us to the digital touch points, different touch points, powered by Drupal or even Drupal Commerce, giving that omni-channel content distribution that's already possible with Drupal. And when the user engages with this content, it generates a lot of data. And this data, if we can store this in a system, we can do things with it. And such systems exist in the open source space. Apache Unomi, which is a project of the Apache Foundation, just like Apache Solar, does exactly that. It stores the data, it allows you to build profiles, and on that profiles, based on rules, it allows you to build segments. These segments you can use back in Drupal to personalize an experience. Also, the data is fully open. It's in an Elasticsearch big database, and yeah, you can run your machine learning algorithms on this and try to find patterns and try to find high-value segments, which you can bring to Drupal. And in Drupal, you can then build journeys based on these segments. So to basically tell Drupal, like, this user is from this segment, so now you can show content especially for this user. And you can also use it in your marketing automation system. So it can not only take the data from your marketing automation system, it can also bring it to your marketing automation system. So you can even build campaigns based on that data. And this you can also extend when the user should be logging in and you know him. You should be able to connect the system, the data you have about these customers, and enrich these profiles even more. So you can even take into account if a customer bought something at your store, or extended a membership, or attended an event. You should also be able to use all that data in combination with their behavior data. And then the last component is the business intelligence component, where you are analyzing the results. So the same segments from the Apache Unomi platform, you can send to a tool like Google Analytics and create custom segments. So it will basically segment all your traffic data based on the segments that you have defined. So you would be able to see this segment has this many page views and converted like this, basically telling you which segments are high value and which ones are not. So conceptually, this is how we can extend Drupal to be a DXP. In reality, customers grow this step by step. So to give you an idea on how we try to enhance our customers to do this, we have a website for a hospital here in Belgium, we extend it with small projects, like, for example, increasing the accuracy of the search results, making it more personalized using machine learning, or trying to take all their different channels, put it in one platform, so all these different stakeholders can be served through one site using the data. Creating omni-channel extensions and capturing data from that. Like, for example, this is a DIY company selling products, construction products in DIY. So they have also screens in DIY stores, also capturing all that data, or creating online, offline customer experiences, trying to make segments and therefore increase in-store meetings and then upsell customers with products afterwards. After they bought their bed in the store, they can be upsold with other accessories that are personalized. So we do that step-by-step projects, and this brings us to the implications for agencies, because I think for agencies that's a new, it could be a new tool if they're working with Drupal, a new tool to extend their selling points for Drupal. Because if you do so, if you bring your Drupal capabilities as part of a DXP, and you really sell it as an experience, you get to do a lot more things with your customers. You get to strategize with them, and not only over the customer journey, but also over these segments and how you're going to find in the data this valuable customer segment. Also get to do more on UX and design, because if a customer really is investing in an experience, they'll really value the UX and design, because they know, okay, this is having an impact on our business. You also do a lot more of integrations, because now it's not only Drupal that needs to be integrated, but you also have the CDP. You need to connect it with other marketing technology. So yeah, there's also more work to do there. And then, of course, once the system is there, optimizing it, it's a lot of work, writing content for different audiences, different types of segments. Making the SEO will also be more complex, the advertising, taking all this into account. So it'll really become a strategic partner, helping your customers get that competitive advantage, help them to achieve that ROX, that return on experience. And if you don't, in best case, then you'll purely be an execution partner, which have lower margins, will have a lot of competition there. It will be hard to differentiate yourself. The work will be less interesting, and of course, then if the work is less interesting, it will be more difficult to attract talent. If you're a customer, what are the implications? If you focus on the experience and you see your project as a DXP project rather than a CMS project, you want to do this because you want a return on experience. You want more time on site. You want more page views, more conversions, these lifetime values. That's how your organization grows. You'll get that competitive advantage over customers and other organizations that don't do this. And most of all, you will know your customers, and who knows what you will find in the data that gives you this edge. So it's definitely worth it to look at bringing your CMS projects to the DXP project, but you can also do it gradually and start with the CMS part and then grow it further. And if you look at developers and marketers, there's also implications. They'll be working a lot more together and closer. And we see this here at the company as well, where if you're in CMS project, they'll tend to be more in silos. But if the customer really shifts to DXP, we see the same thing at the customer too, that departments get at the same table and work closer together. So the silos kind of start dropping away. Developers will also really be focusing on building an experience. We see that a lot more testing is going on, then a lot more Q&A is going on, because it's important that the experience is right, and content marketers and marketers in general will have more control and more options to build an experience combining that user data and that content. And this is I think that's the biggest change. This is the extra capability of knowing the intent of your customer and trying to do something with this. So then, how do you bring this in reality with Drupal? Well, first you can become a part of this. We've been contributing a lot of the code to connect Apache Unomi and bring these enterprise personalization capabilities to Drupal. We also have a Drupal distribution that works with this concept of DXP, of deploying Drupal as a DXP. Also the connection with Mautic. If you want to help out with this, if you want to contribute or know more about this, you should talk to Nick Veenhoff, which is our CTO. He's leading the initiative, and he's taking his experience from Apache Solr, maintaining Apache Solr for years, and he's deploying that on the Unomi project. So if you want to get involved, check him out. The link is there. It's Nick_VH. Drop him a message. If you want to start with this, I'll try to make it easy to understand what are the 5 steps to do it. So first one, we should all be able to do this. Deploy the touch points and the content, get Drupal up and running, deploy the multiple touch points, define our customer segments, the journeys, and then write relevant content. So that's the basics. That's what you have to do when you're deploying a CMS as well. And then in the second step, you need to capture all the data, connected Drupal with Unomi, capture the data from the different sources, start building profiles, also integrate with other systems and try to enrich your profiles even more. And then the next step is to start building segments. Building segments could be manual, or you could be using machine learning algorithms. And then you'll end up with a couple of segments that make sense for your business. And then the next step, you can use the Drupal module to use these segments to make Drupal aware that these segments are active. And then you can use it in blocks, in paragraphs, and in other Drupal systems to build personalized journeys. And you can even do it also for Mautic if it's connected with Drupal. And then in the 5th step, you can connect it to an analytics tool, like for example Google Analytics, and then the data comes in, and then you can start seeing how your different segments that you've been building are converting and how they are performing. This way you can start learning how to define new segments, adjust existing segments, write new content based on the insights, build new journeys, and ultimately increase that return on experience. So quickly explained, that's in 5 steps how you get there. It's a lot of work, but once you get there, it's very rewarding. So that comes to our conclusion of the presentation from CMS to DXP. So if you want to keep up, selling Drupal as a CMS will be not enough anymore. The customer clearly wants to know their customer, so it can bring a personalized experience. And if you do so, then you'll get the return on experience, and your business will grow. Your organization will get new members. So that's it. If you want to know more on how to do this, you can reach me through Drupal.org or email or Twitter or LinkedIn, and I'll happy to share insights. And thank you for having me as a presenter.
Thanks, Dominique. It's wonderful to have this presentation, and I think it's really insightful about the future direction that Drupal is going and needs to be going, and the direction that anybody working with Drupal needs to be thinking about as they continue to do business. It's been lovely having your presentation here. I can't thank you enough, and I can't thank you for sharing the experience you've had from Drop Solid. I know you've done great work throughout the community and around the world, and it's great to have that insight here. We are just going to go back to our intermission here, if you're listening along, and then we will be getting ready for our next panel with Stu Karoff about teaching open source in schools and the importance of bringing open source to education. So we'll be getting ready for that. Again, it'll begin 15 minutes after the hour, so we'll have a little bit of intermission for you to stand up, grab some coffee, or go to the bathroom, anything you need to do. Thank you again, Dominique. Thank you to all of the listeners, and we'll see you shortly.
Thanks.